Hello and welcome to highlights of the 8th and final stage of the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift. Yesterday though, it was a monster ride from Annemiek van Vleuten, going clear on the first climb of the day, going solo from the Col de Platzvassel and riding in towards the finish in Le Markstein to take over in the yellow jersey from her fellow countrywoman Marianne Vos. And what a lead she now takes into the 8th and final stage. It was 3:09 ahead of Demi Vollering, Kasia Niewiadoma at 4 minutes and 20 seconds. But we are literally finishing on a high in the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift into the Vosges Massive, and Annemiek van Vleuten's yellow bike, but she would have a fight on her hands. No procession at the end of the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift. Urska Ziegart, a breakthrough ride for her yesterday, but this is what the riders had ahead of them today. From Le to La Superplanche de Belleville, we had an intermediate sprint to come after 47.4. The first climb, the Côte des Moulières, onto the Ballon d'Alsace, which was the first climb ever done in the men's Tour de France, and then to the Superplanche de Belleville and the punishing slopes of this now iconic climb. 7 kilometers in length, 13%, 11%, and then into 20% and 24% on the gravel at the summit. A real brute of a climb. On the Côte des Moulières, Demi Vollering in the polka dot jersey as Queen of the Mountains leader made sure that she took maximum points over the top. A breakaway group did then get clear, containing the likes of Mavi Garcia, Liana Lippert, Rihanna Marcus, Elise Chabet, all up there. But on the descent, Annemiek van Vleuten having to swap bikes with teammate Arlenis Sierra as she was trying to make contact. The group split. And on the front, SD Works, Trek Segafredo, it meant that the yellow jersey was gapped very slightly. She would then have to ride her way back on the second climb of the day, the Ballon d'Alsace, where she changed bikes for the third time back onto her favoured bike. Demi Vollering was pushing the pace on the front in the polka dot jersey as they headed towards the final climb of the day. Our breakaway group was still holding an advantage. Could they manage to stay clear to the end? On to the valley roads. Mavi Garcia at the head of the race was looking to try and make amends for what has been an awful race for the Spanish champions so far, with a big crash on stage 4, including the one where she was clipped by her team car. She tried multiple times to get clear in the valley. Leah Thomas had been called back from the break for Trek Segafredo. FDJ Suez Futuroscope were looking to try and set things up for Cecily Uttrup Ludwig, but the climb rose ahead into the lower slopes, and it was Paulina Royakas on the 13% gradients at the bottom who attacked. Yora Klasterline of Plantapura tried to go with her, as did Mavi Garcia. The battle for the white jersey was hotting up behind, but with 6 kilometers to go, Annemiek van Vleuten made her move quickly onto the radio. Demi Vollering tried to react, but little by little, Annemiek van Vleuten would reel in the riders ahead of her. Teammate Paola Patino, who had been into the breakaway group, dropped back to do some work for the team leader. Perfect tactics by Movistar. Van Vleuten, though, blitzed past Mavi Garcia, who tried everything that she could to try and stay with the Maillot Jaune. Demi Vollering kept Annemiek van Vleuten in her sights for as long as possible, did everything that she could to try and get back to the race leader. The punishing slopes at the top, though, the 24% gradient on the gravel beckoned ahead, while in the group behind, Niewiadoma, Persico, Labus, Ewers, Longo Borghini and Uttrup Ludwig were battling for those positions. Van Vleuten, though, roared on by a huge crowd at the summit, while the motorbike tumbled behind her. The summit beckoned. Vollering would come up to take second, but the world's #1 rider, stage victory for win number 94, the overall victory for career win 95, second spot on GC, Queen of the Mountains, for Demi Vollering of SD Works. Sylvia Persico is one of the riders of the season for Valcar Travel and Service. We know her as a cyclocross rider, but she finishes at the summit of La Super Planche de Belfi to really signal her arrival on the road. Nubia Doma took 4th. Labous would take 5th on the stage. Longo Borghini behind, and Veronica Ewers would move herself up into the top 10 overall. There's your stage result. Van Vleuten from Vollering and Persico, Nubia Doma, Labous, Longo Borghini, Ewers, Ludwig, Garcia and Lippert, your top 10. A great image. Annemiek van Vleuten, arguably the world's best climber, takes her 2nd stage victory of the race. There's your podium. So Annemiek van Vleuten joined on the podium by Demi Vollering and Kasia Nubia. There's your top 3 in the Tour de France Femmes avec Swift. Your top 10 looks like this. Annemiek van Vleuten ahead of Demi Vollering by 3:48, 6:35 to Nubia Doma, Labous, Persico, Longo Borghini, Ludwig, Music, Ewers up to 9th, and Mavi Garcia makes it in 10th. It was a green jersey to add to her days in yellow and her 2-stage victories, but the greatest of all time, Marianne Vos, takes green, and another iconic jersey, the Queen of the Mountains, 2nd overall, SD Works, Demi Vollering. Shirin van Anrooy takes the best young riders white jersey, fittingly the leader in the Women's World Tour. Best young riders classification, the Super Combativity Award goes to Marianne Vos. And the best team in the race, Canyon SRAM. And we have to say, welcome back to the Tour de France. A great first edition of this Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift, and a fitting first champion in Annemiek van Vleuten. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.